Hello, everyone. So, today I figured I would do a little bit of a different video for you guys. I figured I would do a review on the NPFL that is starting on Santee Cooper tomorrow. As a local guy, I've lived here for over a year now and have fished Santee Cooper 10 times, so I'm local, right? I was just there a couple days ago, so I figured I could give a review. First, I am a bass tournament watcher. I did fish like local stuff in Colorado here and there and stuff like that, but I don't care to fish tournaments. I think it's a silly thing to get yourself into to become a pro bass fisherman, but I do enjoy watching the tournaments. And so I'm a big Bassmaster guy. Watch all of the tournaments pretty much. Don't care for MLF. And then now, after this will be the 5th year of NPFL. They started in the 2020 season, the pandemic season, But they started then, and I've watched them throughout the years. Don't necessarily watch every tournament, but yeah. But this year, I'm going to keep a close eye on it because they did the biggest move when it comes to what everyone talks about, forward-facing sonar. So they completely banned it, so that'll be cool to watch. Last year, I literally did not watch any tournaments, though. I should say that. I didn't watch anything last year other than the Bassmaster Classic. That was the only tournament I watched all year, really, because I always watch the Classic. But I don't know, it does kind of have something to do with FFS. Whatever. But we're not going to make this about that, really, because whatever everyone else does, I don't care. I'm not really going to talk about it. NPFL, first stop of the year, here in Santee Cooper. What I think pretty much is what's going to happen, and what I've noticed just from being there a couple days ago. When the tournament hits, it'll be like 5 days before the tournament that I was there last. There were like 100 boats out there. None of them had a great day, really, that day, and they were just flying around like maniacs. On February 22nd, there was a BFL on Santee Cooper. It took almost 31 pounds to win. So, and there were quite a few 20-pound bags also caught there. Biggest fish was 13, just over 13, I think. So the big ones are there. But what I've noticed, I went through some spawning flats and things like that, and was looking for them. I did not see any beds. I will say I was not in the best spawning areas. Santee, from what I've noticed just from last year, and you can tell because that's where all the boats go, there are, like, on each lake, there are really, like, 3 areas where it's, like, gangbusters for spawners. I didn't really go through that stuff too much, but I went into other, like, smaller spawning areas, whatever, that are a little off the beaten path from everyone else, and looked in those areas. Didn't really see any spawners. I also tried fishing, channels running into the spawn and stuff like that. Just caught a couple, no big ones. So, but also everyone I saw did not catch anything. I talked to a couple guys, heard guys talking to each other and stuff, and no one was catching anything that day. So, but with that being said, water temp was 57. It's right there. There are fish that have moved up, but it's really, really weird right now. Especially so February 22nd, back when that BFL was a warming trend. I remember those days and stuff, and they were getting active and everything. But we keep getting, like, today is 50 degrees for the high. Yesterday was 75. I mean, it's like weird fluctuation stuff. Not saying they're going to completely move out of those shallow areas, because they don't really. But I don't think we've seen that big push, that big wave yet. So it's really, it's going to be the guys that find the weird little channels. Santee Cooper is really a strange place. And it's extremely different for me coming from Colorado. Just the way that it sets up and the way the structure is. I mean, the average depth in Santee Cooper is 12 feet. I mean, the deepest water, I mean, yeah, there's a couple weird little spots where it is like 40, but tiny little areas and stuff. The deepest water is like 20 feet. And those are smaller areas. So it's mostly just a shallow water fishery anyway, and it's just finding the weird little areas. But I think the guy that's going to win the thing is going to have, they're not just going to be strictly bed fishing or just looking for spawners. They're not going to be just fully in the flats all the time. I think it's going to be the guys that come out kind of from those flats and fish kind of the more, they got to find those weird little ditches and creek channels into those flats and things. And I really think the guy that's going to be versatile in those two things is really going to do it. I think the winner, it's going to be kind of a mixture of both. And I think weight, I'm going to say 70 pounds. It's a 3-day tournament. NPFL only does 3-day tournaments. I think it's going to be right around 70 pounds. Possibly a little over. But I think the winner will be like 70 pounds. I think there will be other like 20-pound bags caught. They will be 60-pound bags throughout the tournament. But I think outside of the top 10, you're not going to push 60 pounds. And then I think there's going to be a big drop off at the end where there's guys that just were lost and they didn't catch anything. Or, just small weights there at the bottom. So it's going to be kind of a weird tournament. I also saw a local guy, whatever, say that it was going to be a slugfest. I don't think so. But it's going to be, the top will be good because they found them. They got in key areas. A lot of them will probably be fishing around each other, so that's going to lower weights down too, I think, which is kind of weird for a place with so much area. But I think, it's just going to be key spots in Marion and Moultrie, both of them. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of funny. It's going to be really cool. I like the shallow water stuff anyway, and it'll be cool to see no FFS now. And yeah, so I'll be keeping an eye on NPFL anyway. As far as guys that I got that I think need to look out for, I think number one, there's like some local guys are always gonna kind of do it, especially in Santee Cooper. It's just, you got to know it. It's two big lakes, and local guys typically do pretty good in it. I mean, last year the BPT, was it BPT? Yeah, whatever. The big major tournament here last year was won by a local guy and stuff like that. So I think guys like who's it, Casey, who literally lives on the lake. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of fishermen. The Williamsons maybe, but I think they live more south. I don't know how much they fish Santee. But guys like that, definitely watch out for them. Also, I think Jason Christie, Greg Hackney, those two guys, it's kind of getting into their wheelhouse a little bit. I think those two guys, John Cox always, I mean, he's like my favorite anyway, so... But Christie is having a good tournament right now. He's not having a good day. I'm actually filming this on Sunday, by the way. So, but he's having a good day on Bassmaster right now, or having a good tournament. Not a good day, but whatever. Anyway, he's in top 10, so good tournament. And John Cox was too, just missed the top 10, so watch out for those two guys. They're kind of on a little bit of a heater, and yeah, I think they'll just find him anyway. Hackney always too. And also, big thing everyone needs to watch out for is Matt Herron. If you guys don't know, he was disqualified from the first Bassmaster Elite Series event of the year, leaving Bassmaster and going to NPFL. So he's probably got a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to go out there, and just from what I've seen of Matt Herron over the years and everything, he seems like a grumpy old guy that's fishes better when he's got a chip on his shoulder. And he's more of a power fisherman, shallow water guy. Fun, and I'm rooting for him, because whatever. I like grumpy old guys anyway, even though I'm younger. Not really, but I'm pretty much a grumpy old man. And those are the guys I think you need to watch out for, the weights and all that, and what's going to happen. So that's pretty much it. I just figured I'd do that real quick. If you are not subscribed, subscribe. I love you if you are subscribed. I'll see you guys on the next one.